Children starved, while boots costing many thousands of dollars left their prints across the surface of the moon. We had labored hard to create a paradise here on Earth, only to have it filled with horrors. Welcome to Morning Reflections. I am your host, the FAT MANTIS, and I am still reflecting on what was episode number 5 of The Watchmen. It was emotional, it was different, it was compelling, and absolutely, without a doubt, haunting. Without thunder, man has little fear of lightning, based off of the concept of the one-off. You take one character, be character-centric, you take one character and you expand on who they are. You do a day in a life, you watch who they are. Maybe we misunderstood the character, maybe we never truly understood what they're about, maybe there's more depth to them, or just more knowledge that the viewer needs to know. And they did that with a character that everyone is already in love with, but knows nothing about. It's the Oklahoma good old boy, Looking Glass. Now, I thought it was a superb episode through and through. So from the moment it started to the very end, we watched the day in the life of Looking Glass, but we also got to watch him be deconstructed. And it was so great that they could do so much in just 1 hour of television. Even though he did betrayals and twists and turns and made choices that maybe we would not have chosen, we still end up loving the guy by the end of the episode. And I am still rooting for him. If he's alive, who knows? I loved how they were able to show him at his marketing job, and he's just broken, and he's making that face. Like, he doesn't know up from down, left from right, and I was feeling it. I was very much invested in this emotional conflict he was going through, and I was like, this poor fool, man, I would too. I want to say that the start of the episode was absolutely stupendous. It was mind-boggling that they were able to get the squid in there and to just show the perspective of somebody who was down there in the muck of it all when the false flag attack in 1985 happened. The very thing that created this twisted new alternate reality that we all live in, where people fear technologies and baby squids rain from the heavens. It was extremely well done. I'm going to give this one a 96. And to date, I think that might be my highest score I have given an episode of Watchmen thus far. I want to talk about the setup of the episode, and I don't mean the way they set up the episode, I mean the setup within the episode. Our blonde character, I think her name was Renee, she had a manipulator written all over her, and she just came off as insincere from day one, from the very moment she entered the show. But then it continued on where there's a scene where the truck drops the lettuce, and I'm like, well, that's convenient. And then he follows them to their base of operations, and they have the nerve to get out of their truck, in basically public, even though it's their property, someone could see from the street, wearing their 7K masks. And I'm like, what is this? They happen to leave a firearm, which is illegal in that world, in their truck. I'm like, this is just an orgy of evidence. What is going on here? They're like the worst spies ever. But thank God that was actually preordained. That was all set up. They wanted to be followed, so it was ultimately clever. I will say one thing. Renee, who I kind of hope is not out of the show yet, she does this moment of just sincerity, which was just beautiful. When she's exposed to be a traitor and he is exposed to be captured, she looks at him and she says, I really am a radiologist. What her heart was trying to say was, I really actually did like you. Sorry about this. And I think there might be more to their characters and their evolution. Although, however, he has been screwed royally, especially with the end of the episode. Who knows, she might end up getting killed by him. Since, as we know, lover fatality, that seems right up both Watchmen and HBO's alley. Absolutely. So, he might be chopping off Renee's head. But, she kind of had it coming in like a sweet way. Okay, I'm going to stop making myself sound like a serial killer and move on to the next thing. Now, the Ozzy Tapes. If I was Looking Glass and I was presented with the Ozzy Tapes, I might not have believed it. To be honest, I might have thought that it was a deep fake. I may have thought that somebody used digital effects to create an Ozymandias tape. But I mean, that is his character. And once again, even though he made that foolish mistake to buy into what the 7K is doing to him, I still love the guy for being foolish enough to fall for it, because his mind was already warped since he was a lad, since 1985. So, he probably didn't have a firm grasp of reality in the first place. But by the way, I really don't think that that's what Jeremy Irons looked like when he was younger, because I've seen many of his films throughout my entire life, and he was far more slender, and it didn't look like it was 35 years in the past. That literally looked like 10 years ago or something. He was like 50. They de-aged him to 50 when they really should have de-aged him to like 30 or something like that. I don't know what's up with that. But I will say I really love that it shows that it takes more than one false flag event to create a lasting world peace. Ozymandias had a whole network and a whole infrastructure to control the populace and to keep world peace and keep people buying into the lie that he produced. And in order to do that, he literally had to control and create an Illuminati effect where he controls who is president, where people are going, what they're doing. And I really love that. I like that it's an ongoing process of controlling humanity to keep world peace going. Now, I want to offer some conspiracy theories to you. And the first one is it possible that Robert Redford went rogue? He was elected in the early 90s. Right? Is it possible that he got tired of following orders from Veidt and all his Veidt's monkeys and stuff, and he decided to pull his own mutiny, to use pirate terms? He bit the hand of the dog that fit him before Ozymandias was holding the leash, and Robert Redford was like, no, now it is time for me to do it, and maybe got Lady True to imprison our man Ozymandias. It's very possible that Robert Redford, the president, has become the big bad of the event. As we know, each episode reveals more and more, so I think there's going to be more to this possible theory. And it's funny, I know that every episode I seem to be elaborating more and more on who is holding Ozymandias prisoner. I would say, in all fairness, it's not that I'm a fool, it's that they haven't given us all the pieces of the puzzle yet, so I'm just learning more information. So for all, next week I might even think it's Laurie. Who knows where this show is going, but I love every minute of it. Ozymandias, it would appear when he gets out of his prison situation, he is on one of the moons of Jupiter, which I believe people are saying it's Europa. Now, Europa is known to be one massive frozen ocean. Like, there's oceans underneath and a frozen layer on top. I guess that fit the description. But it is fascinating that he is not even on Mars. He is out there. Now, I want to put something out to you. When he was constructing a message made of dead bodies, which is a figurative life raft of corpses, literally on human bodies, if you look at the message right now, it says save me, but there's more to it, and if you notice, that letter right there is a D. 3 words in D in his life of who could be allies to him. It could be Dan, it could be Dryberg, it could be Doctor, or it could be Dr. Manhattan, the full thing written out. So basically, the first two, Dan or Dryberg, refers to Dan Dryberg, known as Night Owl, but since we know he's in a federal penitentiary, I think it is unlikely that he has access to any satellites or an ability to help his friend. Probably he needs help more than anything. The third and more likely candidate for the D is Dr. Manhattan, and he understands that Dr. Manhattan watches over the world, and he's probably using his powers to access different cameras throughout the planet, possibly satellites, always checking back on Earth. So it is possible that Blue Thunder himself, Dr. Manhattan, is going to fly down, and he's going to help the only human that he has ever really respected, the villainous Ozymandias. I actually cannot wait to see how this unfolds. And it actually is now looking, everyone keeps thinking Dr. Manhattan's going to pop out of nowhere. It probably does look, as a lot of HBO shows are, slow burns. They're waiting for Dr. Manhattan to come at the very last moment. They're just holding it off. Because, our mouth is all watering, and we're like, we want to see a blue glowing guy. One thing I can do without is blue dick. I do not want to see any more blue dick. This show has a lot of dicks in it. But, I do not want to see a character who's always wagging a dick around. Even if they do the cutoff where you can't see it the way they did in the movie, I could do without. Put them in those tidy whiteys, well, navy blue, but you know what I mean. Put them in the underwear or something, or keep them in a suit or something. But I don't want to see it. Sorry, doctor. I respect you. I love you. Just don't want to see your schlong. Don't take it personal. So the final conspiracy, if you will. The conspiracy of whether Looking Glass is dead or not. From just a story point of view, It has him pull up to the car. He's gotten it has him pull up to his house. He has a delivery from the extra-dimensional security system, and he's done with all the shenanigans. He's done with the conspiracies. He's done with paranoia. He picks it up. He walks over to the trash can. He throws it, and he slams, and he walks off. And then he walks back. He picks it up, and he takes it. Now, this is symbolizing that he is actually not done with his old self. Still the semblance of the old him in there. Now, right after that, 7K pulls up. They have shotguns, a whole mess of them, and they head into the thing. Now, I think that's supposed to indicate that, are they coming to kill him? Does he know too much? It seems logical to kill him. However, if they have a cop on the inside who is willing to betray his friends, he might continue to be a traitor cop. Maybe this is how they recruit people, and I have a feeling they're going to recruit him, but under the geist of, you're joining us, or else. And that was the or else. They have shotguns, they have tough guys. They're going to start with intimidation and eventually work in the front angle. They got a hot older blonde for him. He's got his Renee. And they'll eventually, they're hoping that he'll have Munchausen syndrome. I don't know if that's the correct word. No, Stockholm syndrome. So yes, I think they hope that he's going to get Stockholm syndrome, but a lot of people end up getting. However, the real him is still hiding in there. And that's my take on the final thing. What did you guys think of this episode? And what conspiracies have I missed? Did I miss any Easter egg? But until next time, I want you to slap that like button. I want you to share. I want you to subscribe. And I want you to go in peace. Ciao for now, bitches.